Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Trooper Keefe, you testified that you received the cell phone of Jennifer McCabe and of Kerry Roberts.
Correct.
With regard to the cell phone of Jennifer McCabe in particular, you had her sign what is called a consent form, correct?
That's correct.
What is a consent form?
It allows the trooper or law enforcement to, with the owner's consent, we are able to conduct an extraction of the device.
Okay. And on that consent form, there is a description of the item itself?
Yes.
In this case, it would have been an iPhone 11.
Yes.
And there also is an identifier with regard to a specific phone called the IMEI number?
The International Mobile Equipment Identifier.
Okay. And that would be included on the form as well because it identifies the specific iPhone 11 that Jennifer McCabe had, correct?
Correct.
The password was provided on that consent form?
Yes.
And the form was signed, correct?
Yes.
By both Jennifer McCabe and by you, correct?
Yes.
And there was also a second trooper that would have signed the form as well?
That's correct.
With regard to the timing of the signing of that form, Jennifer McCabe dated it February 2nd of 2022?
Yes.
You also dated it February 2nd of 2022, correct?
Correct.
Jennifer McCabe did not list a time, but you did, correct?
I would have to look at the consent form.
Okay, so your memory, you don't remember what time you indicated or if you indicated a time, but looking at the consent form would refresh your memory?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Now, I just ask you to read that silently and then look up at me when you're done, Trooper. Having reviewed that form, does that refresh your memory as to whether you indicated a date and time?
I did, yes.
And what was the date and time that you indicated?
It was February 2nd, 2022, 12:08.
And that would have been 12:08 p.m.?
Correct. 12:08 p.m.
The document that I handed you is not an original, correct?
No, it's not.
Does it appear to be a precise copy of the original, however?
Yes.
May I offer that into evidence, Your Honor, please?
Is there an objection, Mr. Brennan?
No, subject to redaction.
Okay. So don't put it up on the...
I will not.
Exhibit 81.
Now, Trooper Keefe, as of January 29th of 2022, you were colleagues in the same state police unit as Michael Proctor, correct?
I was.
At that time, was the unit called the CPAC unit or was it called Norfolk County Detectives?
I don't recall when it changed.
Okay. It's been called both, correct?
It has.
As of January 29th of 2022, there were only 10 troopers in the unit, including supervisors, correct?
I don't know.
It's a small unit, is it not?
Relatively small.
Within the CPAC or the Norfolk County Detectives, every case that comes in is assigned to one particular trooper as the lead investigator in the case, correct?
That is something that a supervisor would do, not me.
And have you been assigned as the lead investigator in other investigations?
No. Not a homicide investigation, no.
You have not yet.
No.
The lead investigator is the trooper who is responsible for the case, correct?
Yes.
Michael Proctor was the lead investigator for the investigation into the death of John O'Keefe, was he not?
Yes.
If somebody asked within your unit while this case was going on, whose case is it or who has that case, your answer would have been Michael Proctor, correct?
Yes.
The two of you have worked cases together in the past, correct?
A few.
you've worked on this case with Michael Proctor, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, within your work on this case, you actually partnered with him for certain assignments within the case, did you not?
You'll have to be more specific.
Sure. So for instance, on October 21 of 2022, you and Michael Proctor interviewed Sarah Levinson together, correct?
No, I don't recall that.
Okay, Cooper, you do not remember interviewing Sarah Levinson on October 21 of 2022 at 12:20 p.m. at the Norfolk DA's office. Is that your current testimony?
Yes.
Okay. If you saw a copy of that report, would that refresh your memory?
To an extent.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I've placed a document in front of you. I would just ask you to read that silently to yourself. Look up at me when you're done. And Trooper Keefe, just so we're clear, I'm not going to ask you any questions about the specifics of what Sarah Levinson said, so you don't have to brush up on that.
I'd just like to refresh. Take a look, sir.
Go ahead. Having reviewed that report, does that refresh your memory as to whether or not you participated in an interview of Sarah Levinson with Michael Proctor on October 21st of 2022?
Yes, I don't recall the specifics, but...
So when you say yes, is it your current testimony that your memory is refreshed that you were actually there?
Yes.
Okay. And the two of you would have participated in that interview together, correct?
Yes.
But you did not write the report, correct?
No, I did not.
Michael Proctor wrote the report, correct?
Yes, he did.
He was the lead investigator writing the report, correct?
Yes, he wrote this report.
He chose the language to use in that report, correct?
I did not have any input on how he wrote this report.
Right. You had no input. You weren't standing over him while he was typing it, correct?
Correct.
Now, other examples of, and actually, let me take that back from you if you don't mind.
Yes.
Other examples are the reports on the videos that you, well, strike that. Let me start by saying this. You, or asking you this, you retrieved videos from both the Waterfall Bar and Grill and C.F. McCarthy's, did you not?
That's correct.
You and Sergeant Buchanan retrieved the videos from C.F. McCarthy's, correct?
Yes.
But lead detective or lead investigator Michael Proctor was the one to analyze the video and write a report on it, correct?
I would have to see that report, sir.
Sure. Again, if you read that silently to yourself and look up at me when you're done. Okay, having reviewed that report, does that refresh your memory about Michael Proctor being the one to write the report on the analysis of the waterfall video?
Sir, I only obtained a copy of the surveillance video.
Right.
I did not do any analysis on the video.
That's my question. It was Michael Proctor who did the analysis, correct?
Yes.
And that, by the way, I said waterfall. Is that C.F. McCarthy's there, or is that waterfall?
This is C.F. McCarthy's.
Okay, I meant C.F. McCarthy's. He was the one to review that video, correct?
Yes, again, I only got a copy of the surveillance video.
Sure.
I did not do any analysis.
And with regard to the Waterfall Bar and Grill, that was another circumstance where you and Sergeant Buchanan were the ones to retrieve the video, correct?
Yes.
But again, lead investigator Michael Proctor was the one to analyze the video and write the report on it, correct?
Yes, I would have to see that report as well, sir.
Now, another member of your unit was Trooper David DeChico, correct?
Yes.
Within your unit, did Trooper DeChico have a nickname for a first name?
Objection.
May we approach? Trooper, in terms of the troopers that were in your unit as of January 29th of 2022, Which members of the unit had the least amount of time in the unit at that time?
I don't recall.
Were you one of the newer members of the unit?
As of January of 2022?
Yes.
Yes.
Then Trooper Michael Proctor had more experience than you did as of January 29th of 2022, correct?
He could have. He'd been on the job longer.
Okay, well, if he had been on the job longer, then certainly that means that he did have more experience, correct?
It depends.
You attended the autopsy of John O'Keefe on January 31st of
I did.
2022. And with regard to other members of your unit, you were the only one to attend that autopsy?
Yes.
That was done at the medical examiner's office
The medical examiner's office in Sandwich, Massachusetts.
in Sandwich, Mass. And it was Dr. Irene Scorti-Bello who performed the autopsy, correct?
Yes.
Had you met her prior to that day?
No.
Had you spoken to her prior to that day?
No.
Did you know before the autopsy was performed that your former colleague, lead investigator Michael Proctor, had discussed the case with Dr. Scorti-Bello without telling us what you knew of what was said?
Objection.
With regard to Dr. Scorti-Bello's knowledge of what the state police theory was of what happened, did you have to explain that, or was it your understanding she already knew what your theory was?
Objection.
Mr. Stage, you can voice that differently.
What, if any, conversations did you have with Dr. Scorti-Bello about what your unit's theory was about what happened to John O'Keefe?
There was no theory.
Okay. You did not provide any theory to her, correct?
I did not provide a theory.
You learned at the autopsy from your observations that John O'Keefe had 2 black eyes and a swollen right eye, correct?
Yes.
You also learned that there was a small cut above his right eye, correct?
Yes.
And there was a small abrasion on the left side of his nose, correct?
I would have to reference the report for the exact words.
Okay. So I placed another document in front of you. Just take a look, read it silently to yourself, and look up at me when you're done. And I would direct your attention to the second page for the question I just asked you. Having reviewed that report, Trooper, is your memory refreshed as to whether you observed a small abrasion on the left side of John O'Keefe's nose?
Yes.
Now, was this the first autopsy that you had attended, or had you attended ones in the past?
I cannot recall.
It could have been the first one?
Most likely not.
When you're attending an autopsy as a member of the CPAC unit or the Norfolk Detectives unit, you are expecting that the medical examiner is going to examine the body, correct?
Yes.
And you're there to witness that examination, correct?
Yes.
At the end of the examination, you are expecting that there will be a determination as to cause and manner of death, correct?
Objection.
Not.
In this case, when the autopsy ended, you left the medical examiner's office, correct?
Yes.
When you left, your understanding was that the cause and manner of death was still undetermined, correct?
Objection.
You knew when you left that Dr. Scorti-Bello had seen the scratches or bites or injuries to John O'Keefe's arms, correct?
Objection.
You knew when you left that in your presence, Dr. Scorti-Bello had seen the injuries to John O'Keefe's arm.
Object to the line of questioning.
Sustained.
May we approach?
Okay?
Were you watching Dr. Scorti-Bello as she was conducting the autopsy?
Yes.
Did she appear to be looking at John O'Keefe's body?
Objection.
It's the same thing. Just
What direction were her eyes facing when she was examining John O'Keefe's body?
I don't recall.
Okay. Was she looking at the ceiling, Trooper?
She was doing her job conducting the autopsy.
And in order to do
at
that,
the body.
I'm sorry?
She was looking at the body, I assume. I'm not in.
Thank you. And looking at the body, you saw her looking at the body, correct?
Yes.
And looking at the body included an arm, correct?
Yes.
And it was at the arm was not covered up during the autopsy, correct?
No.
It was open for you to see, correct?
Yes.
And you saw the injuries to John O'Keefe's arm, correct?
Yes.
You didn't see any bruising on his arm, correct?
I don't recall.
You didn't notice any obvious broken bones, did you?
I'm not a medical expert.
And it is common practice for the state police to attend autopsies when there's an undetermined death, correct?
Yes.
It is not at all common for the defense to attend an autopsy, correct?
I've never experienced that.
Right. And there was no defense attorney or defense expert at the autopsy of John O'Keefe, correct?
Not when I was there.
You were there, correct?
Yes.
And there was nothing that prevented you from giving input to the doctor as she examined the body, correct?
We don't give input. We give the facts that we know so far in the case.
Okay. Well, giving the facts is giving input, is it not?
It's not input.
Okay. Did you talk to Dr. Scorti-Bello during the autopsy?
Yes.
And you gave her information, if you don't want to call it input, correct?
Yes.
And at the end of it, you left without her ruling it a homicide, correct?
Objection.
I have nothing further.